Hey, yo, hey, I'm an addict named Austin. I got clean here at Serenity House on October 19th, 2014. Let's read the just for today. February 20th, powerlessness and personal responsibility. Through our inability to accept personal responsibilities, we were actually creating our own problems. When we refuse to take responsibility for our lives, we give away all of our personal power. We need to remember that we are powerless over our addiction, not our personal behavior. Many of us have misused the concept of powerlessness to avoid making decisions or to hold on to things we had outgrown. We have claimed powerlessness over our actions. We have blamed others for our circumstances rather than taking positive action to change those circumstances. If we continue to avoid responsibility by claiming that we are powerless, we set ourselves up for the same despair and misery we experienced in our active addiction. The potential for spending our recovery years feeling like victims is very real. Instead of living our lives by default, we can learn how to make responsible choices and take risks. We may make mistakes, but we can learn from those mistakes. A heightened awareness of ourselves and an increased willingness to accept personal responsibility, gives us the freedom to change, make choices, and grow. Just for today, my feelings, actions, and choices are mine. I will accept responsibility for them. Man, in the beginning, this is a process, right? And it's in the step working process that I started to learn the things that I was responsible for and the things I wasn't, the choices that I could have made or couldn't have made, and a really clear idea of the choices that I did make and didn't make, right? So I was able to get to a place where I could understand the things that I was responsible for, the things I wasn't. I believe this is a disease, a mental health disorder, but that doesn't get me off the hook for some of the choices I made, right? But I can also give myself a break and realize and go back to those times and realize at the time, like I wasn't equipped to make certain choices, so I don't have to give myself such a hard time for not making those choices. I could have reached out and learned, and I didn't. And so the beginning of this, the first and maybe second time that I worked through the steps, I was able to really get a good idea of what had happened, right? And I can go off of that as far as making choices moving forward. But my experiences that I had before I got clean were good learning. There were good things to learn off of, but the best experience that I have to learn from is what I've done since I got clean, right? And the only thing I've done right since October 19th of 2014 is not use. But I do have lots of experience in there, right? Because I made quite a few mistakes and I made some good decisions. And so ultimately I can look at I can take a good look at what I have and haven't done since I got clean and see where I need to grow, see where I have grown. And that's ultimately what this is saying. Like, I can't claim ignorance if I'm in the step working process. There are some things that even after working the steps a couple times that I was ignorant to, but it's up to me to be vigilant and keep working the steps, keep learning and keep growing. And I can remember I'd gotten into a pretty good place after a few years, right? And I was living by myself, and I worked on the things that I knew I needed to work on, especially as far as the relationships with my son and other places, right? And so I was able to get a good idea of the things that I needed to work on, get better at, and the mistakes I had made. And then I met my wife, and we got in a relationship, and there was a whole nother layer of new things that I needed to learn to be able to communicate better and be better at my part of the relationships. Have I done all those things? No. Have I gotten better? Yes. And so I'm grateful. And there could have been a point in time where I could have, and I might have even said it, you're just going to have to accept me for who I am, love me for who I am. This is who I am, right? And that's something that I've done all my life. And that's something that I wholeheartedly believed, right? That there were some things I couldn't change. But that wasn't true. And thank God I have a loving and caring wife that would present it to me and love me regardless. And so I was able to realize that I needed to work on those areas of my life. And I've been able to work and grow in some areas. Ultimately, that's what this is saying, is we can claim ignorance, blame it on the disease of addiction, or we can do some work. And to be really honest with you, there was times when I didn't want to do the work. And so I would just be stuck in this place. And then after a period of time of pain, right? And not pain that anybody else caused, pain that I caused myself and others, I wanted to grow. And so the step working process has been a really good place for me to learn and grow. And I think it is for any of us that work these steps. And the God of my understanding puts people in my life to help me along the way. And then there's days when he doesn't put anybody in my life because it's something that I need to see and work on. And so I'm really grateful for the step working process and all the relationships that I have, that I've started and that I'm a part of in Narcotics Anonymous, because it's helped me to grow. And ultimately, this, like, it helps the people around me and me, but it really helps me in my heart to feel like I'm like I can make good choices today and do good things. And I believe you can too. I hope that helped. Thank you for tuning in. I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a good day.